Hey, I'm Rusty Williams. Welcome to the fourth podcast for the Williams Roth Group. I've got Chris, Lauren, and Jake in here with me. I'm going to tell you a quick funny story, and then we'll get started. So I'm a senior in college. I played football at UCLA. There's 100,000 people in the Rose Bowl. We're playing against USC, and I'm the long snapper. So I got to snap the punt, and I got to get back and block this guy with long black hair, and it's Troy Polamalu. If anybody knows who that is, he's a Hall of Famer.
Just got inducted.
Anyway, so I got to block this guy, so I snap the ball and get back to block him, and the crowd goes absolutely apeshit. And it figures that I snapped the ball over the punter's head, down to the 3-yard line.
Ooh.
My punter was 6'6", and he couldn't have caught it if he was 12 foot tall. So we fall on the ball, and SC has it going in on the 3-yard line. I got to go play defense now. Sure enough, they score on the next play. I'm on the sideline. The ESPN camera is right in my face. I never in my life felt so alone and embarrassed and thought, oh my God, I wish I had people around me that could take the blame for this.
Did you? But by the way, was there like a camera? Would they
that's
zoom
a,
it
that's
in?
a
Were
true
they like
stories.
they just getting right in your?
Oh no,
your
I'm on the bench. He's right in my dish.
You're like, give me a minute, buddy.
Man, I felt so alone. So from that point forward, I decided, you know what? I always want to have a team. I want to have other guys that can take some of the blame, take some of the heat. So that's a tie-in to what we're going to talk about today a little bit.
That was an excellent.
Wow,
feed.
like
great
that?
story.
Excellent.
I didn't know you played at UCLA.
I took a broadcast.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Wow.
So let's talk about team structure and why it's important to have a team and put some of the blame on other guys. Jake's obviously an intricate member of our team, as is Chris, and together we have kind of a system that we go through. Jake, why don't you tell our listeners a little bit about what we do?
Yeah, no, I was going to start kind of more just why you guys started a team, right? Is that we have so much stuff to do on a daily basis as a broker, right? We're always trying to chase more business. We're always trying to service our clients the best way we can. It's tough with just one guy to do everything. So we have multiple people working together. We have different strengths and weaknesses. We are trying to always expand our territory, get more deals in the pipeline for our clients. I guess Chris can kind of talk about our different roles and responsibilities that we have as a team and how we work with each other to, obviously perform the best for our clients.
Yeah, I think when we look to try to build a team, for those not in our business in our world, if you're a single agent, you go through ebbs and flows of deals. So if you've seen $1 Million Listing, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But basically what they do is they go, hey, you're working on a deal, you're busy as hell, you can't do anything else. When the deal closes, you're stuck. You have nothing else to do but try to go out and do new marketing to try to get a new deal. And it's a pretty horrible way to do business because you just feel like, oh my God, I'm not making any money now and I'm screwed until you find the next deal. So when we built the team, the idea was really selfishly to always have deals to work on. So Rusty was going to be doing the actual transactions and I would do the front end work, and then we would always have a deal to work on. Luckily, we didn't know it, I don't think at the time, but we had different skill sets, which really worked out, and it has worked out well for us. And then it's expanded with Jake as well, bringing Jake on, and now we have Lauren, our transaction coordinator, but everybody on our team, we've made a point to hire that has different skill sets.
Yeah, and that's huge for our team because at the end of the day, it's accountability, right? It's accountability to the client, it's accountability to us as partners, and we're probably over the top anal when it comes to structure and accountability and planning. I mean, we go through a rigorous process every year to do a significant amount of upfront work on a business plan. And it takes several days and weeks for us to get through this process with our business coach. And we meet every single Monday morning and we lay out how we're going to accomplish those monthly goals. We meet once a month to figure out how we're going to accomplish those annual goals. And it's a time-consuming process, but for us, it's time very well spent.
It's a good example of different personalities, different skill sets. Rusty, every Monday we get together. Rusty wants to get on and off that call. faster than I would. I'm on there trying to dot every I, cross every T, make sure we've got everything going. And Rusty's like, okay, it's been an hour, let's go. Come on, coffee's getting cold.
But that's shows you the different personalities, right, of the team members. You and I are different types of people, which makes for a good team. And Jake fills in the gaps and keeps us all in line. So, I mean, I really think that the way that we're structured and the things that we're doing to make sure the client gets the highest level of service possible and nothing ever slips through the cracks, it's critical.
Yeah, and I think the term that you guys have thrown around a lot is it's a well-oiled machine that we have here. I mean, if you look at everything we have to do, we have a database that has building owners, tenants throughout the county. That has to be constantly updated. That's database entry. That's very.
You can't do that by yourself.
That's a meticulous job that takes time. There's no way to cheat that.
Even if it was static, it's impossible to keep up with. And people are selling their buildings, and then a new person comes in, and a tenant comes in.
Yeah, new people.
People get fired or switch jobs or
right.
Yeah.
And then obviously going after chasing new business that entails cold calling and reaching out to people and sending emails and e-blasts and. That takes time. They can't just cheat on that. When we finally are able to get listings, we have to create new marketing materials. That's another thing that takes a lot of time. We create custom marketing for each building, each property we list. What else am I missing here? Information. Talk about how we track information.
Talk about the admin support that we have behind us with Jessica and Lauren. I mean, having people that are experts in marketing, graphics, admin work, contract drafting. I mean, as a solo agent, and I used to be a solo agent, you're limited. You can only do so much, and even if you work 15 hours a day, there's only so much time that you can dedicate to things. So having a team that can service clients and cast a wider net and service more business only benefits the client, right? I mean, obviously it benefits us, and we make more money, and we do more deals. I get it, but when clients hire us, they're expecting a full level of service, and it's difficult as a sole agent to provide that type of service.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah. So kind of talking about those strengths and weaknesses, how would you describe, Chris, I guess, your strengths?
Why don't you let Rusty fire away?
The guy in the glasses? He dresses really well. I mean, his dress attire is phenomenal. Chris is extremely detail oriented. I think anybody who's listening to this podcast that knows Chris,
annoyingly detail oriented at times.
Can be at times.
Well, there's a couple times. Yeah, those notes on some of the stuff, it can get a little detailed.
Totally get that, guys.
No, we love it though.
Yeah. But the analytics, the detail, the follow up. Chris is one of our biggest, prospectors on the team, and nothing slips through the crack. He's going to figure out if you're going to move, if you're going to stay, if the broker says it didn't work, why. I mean, nothing is going to be pushed to the side, and he's extremely detailed, and that's a big driving factor. I mean, it's important to have that.
Yeah. I guess.
Jake, I don't know.
Let's talk about Rusty next.
Can we push pause and come back?
Yeah, shit. Well, now Rusty, what is that? I guess, Chris, what do you think Rusty's
the closer, man. I mean, I've learned a lot, and he knows I've said this about him. He's taught me that people, and I did this with my own house. I saw it. I was on the other side. I was the buyer. People need to know what to do, and he's very good at being direct and saying, here's what you need to do.
Have to be told.
I first started, I used to think that was not how you should do that. Because I felt like it was their decision. You give them the information and they make the decision. Rusty's so good at, this is what you need to do, and that's so important that people need that, because you're the real estate expert. And you're in it every day. They need to know what to do.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, when you're new in the business, it's really difficult. Not that you were new when you started with me, but when you're new and a younger agent, it's very difficult to tell that buyer, tenant, landlord what to do, because they probably know more than you do, frankly. I mean, you're a new guy. It's difficult, right? So that comes with experience and time and building the knowledge of, now I feel comfortable telling a client, here's what I recommend. Here's the steps I would recommend you take.
Right, and then on top of that, I'd say Rusty's really good at, he moves quickly, right? Like if there's an issue, he can figure out a solution really fast, whereas I tend to give me a minute and I need to take a step back and think about this. Rusty figures it out way faster than I do when he's on the phone or if he's got a problem. Solutions are made, and that's a big strength of his too.
Yeah. Rusty's also really good at emails, typing out emails
Oh,
and text messages. So it's just
I sent out an email blast today. I'm sure there was some misspelled words in there somewhere.
yeah, if you've ever received a text or an email from Rusty, I'm sure it had a typo in it.
If you've ever seen those memes or whatever, where like it's written in different ways, like that is written like TAHT or whatever, and you have to figure it out. That's Rusty email for you. You have to really think think about it.
We're going
That's
too,
all right,
too
though.
fast sometimes.
And then Jake, Jake is I think Jake can do. He's kind of a blend between the two of us. Like he can do all the spreadsheets, analytics. He's also really good at prospecting. He's really good at interacting with clients. He's done deals from start to finish, and I feel like he's progressed. I mean, how long have you been on the team now? 3 years?
Yeah, 2.5, 3 years.
2.5, 3 years?
Wait, 3 years, yeah.
You basically, I feel like you're. I feel like when I'm talking to you, I'm talking to Rusty. It's like we're in the same. You've matured as far as your like business sense in this job very fast.
Yeah.
And it's impressive.
Yeah. Jake's on his way to make partner. It won't be too long here before. Jake will be a partner with the Lee & Associates Carlsbad office, which any lead brokers out there know is a really big deal. Well, we appreciate you guys joining us. We're going to ask if you have any questions, you have any things
We
you
need to
want
hear
us
from you guys.
to talk about.
Give
And we
us
have,
some feedback here.
thousands and thousands of listeners. Send us an email, throw us a text, let us know what you want to talk about. If you have specific questions, we'd be happy to address them on the next podcast.
Thank you. All right.